Good morning, everyone. Oh, you're giving me such nice comments. Thank you. Adjust my sweater here. We're going to get snow today in Minnesota, so I'm bundled up. The heated floor is on. Yesterday I drove to the farm to see my dad and my brother, and I started out at 62 degrees in the Twin Cities, and by the time I got halfway to the farm it was like 35. It dropped that fast in about, I don't know. The farm is actually 125 miles or so from our house, but there was about a 50-mile stretch where the temperature was dropping dramatically. Good morning. Oh, you guys, I did something kind of naughty. You know how I love coffee mugs. Well, I went into Caribou last week, I believe it was. And then I ended up, I gotta show you. I ended up coming home with 2 mugs. Aren't they cute? Like, they're so Minnesota. I had to get them. I mean, I had to. I didn't even have a choice. I had to. Oh, goodness. Good morning, good morning. Oh, it's so good to have you here. Hello, everybody. Oh, we've got such a fun card planned for today, but I have so many things in my mailbox that I have to share with you that it's probably going to be a little bit before I actually get to the card that we're making. So if you don't really care for the mailbox portion of my Facebook Lives, just skip through it. It's okay. You're not going to hurt my feelings. All right, so I am going to start by sharing the most amazing, the most remarkable, and cool fun fold that I've seen in some time. This is from my downline member, Carol Sullivan, and she created an amazing Thanksgiving card. I bet she worked an hour on this, and she sent this to my husband and I. I mean, maybe more than an hour, so just be prepared. It's really something. So here it is. Is it not just stunning? So that's only the first part of it. That's just the part you see when you take it out of the envelope. But it's one of those cards that it sits, see if I can do it. It sits like this. Hopefully you can see that. Is that not gorgeous? And then this is what it looks like from the side. So you kind of have a little M shape, a little altered M shape. Yeah, I am just stunned in every way. But Carol is one of our more not that everybody's not talented, but Carol just goes over the top. She's just got talent oozing out of every pore, and I'm just so blessed to have her in my downline group because she's inspiring us constantly in our Facebook group. So anyway, I'm going to hold it up close so you can see the amazing coloring on that sunflower. This is the Celebrate Sunflowers bundle. And she did a Thanksgiving card for my husband and I. So I'm going to hold it up so you can just see how amazing this is. Like, I would probably have to, work on this card a week and take shifts so I didn't burn myself out. That's how incredible this card is. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Carol. Just amazing. Then I got a package in the mail from one of our watchers, Elaine Hicks. Oh, my Lord. This just blew my mind. First of all, it's so weird. It's like she was reading my mind because I was kind of like, every year you go to a craft fair and everybody's like sewing, or not sewing, but they crochet those little dust claws, or not dust claws, but see, I don't do a lot of housework, so I don't have all the terminology down. The wash rags or the washcloths that you wipe down kitchen tables and stuff with, well, I buy them about every 3-4 years. And mine were getting so bad. I hadn't bought them in a while. And then just lo and behold, out of the blue, like magic, Elaine Hicks sends me a package, and look what she gives me. A crocheted washcloth. Like, just exactly what I needed for my dishes. I just was like amazed. Elaine, if you're watching, you can't imagine how happy this makes my heart. And it's just like you read my mind because I really, really needed this. And then she sent a beautiful card to go with it. So, of course, she decorates the envelope because she's just like that. And then it's the coolest buckle card ever, so I have to show it to you. So it looks like this, and I have to show you how the buckle works. So it slips under some dimensionals, like this. So here's the buckle portion, and then it slips under this little area here. So the dimensionals are all on this side, and then the little buckle portion slips under. Oh my gosh, I thought it was so cute. So weird, because I've been trying to figure out how to do a buckle card just recently. Of course, I give away so much of my stuff that I don't keep everything that I probably should keep. And so I was like kind of fussing around, and finally I just gave up because I couldn't figure out how to do it. And then Elaine comes and sends me this gorgeous card with a buckle, just like she knew. Like she just knew what I needed. So thank you, Elaine. Really special. All right, and then another mailbox card I got was from a down member on the East Coast. Her name is Patty Penn, and she used the Autumn Goodness Bundle. So check this out. And of course, she decorates the inside as well, because most of my downline members do decorate the inside. They follow their leader, just like I like to decorate the inside. But isn't that cute? A little haystack with the sentiment stamped in the haystack. I love it. So thank you so much, Patty Penn. You are a treasure. I really appreciate having you in my downline group. She is very caring and very sharing. All right, and the next card is another card from a downline member. She also decorated her envelope, and she sent it all so pristine so that I could reuse it, because she knows I struggle keeping enough cards on hand, because I always send my customers a card for every $50 increment on their product order. So if they order 150 from me, I send 3 cards. And so they know that I struggle to keep up with card making. And so my downline members are always sending me cards that I can pass on to my customers. So this is one from Stacy Kratz. She sent a little thank you to me because I sent out an Onstage at Home gift to my downline members who were attending Onstage at Home. So she was just sending a little thank you. And then of course the gift is, the gift from her to me is really special because it's this card made with the Love of Leaves bundle. And you guys know how much I love that bundle. So really fun to get this card. Thank you, Stacy. And then I got another card in the mail. This is from a downline member. I had 2 downline members in Hawaii. Oh, I know. I am going to visit them. Fingers crossed that we actually go to Hawaii on our incentive trip with Stampin' Up. But she also sent me a little thank you card. And this is what it looks like. So she used the retired thank you die, which I still have that. I did not give that one away or sell it because that's such a quick way to decorate designer series paper and put a thank you card in the mail. So she was telling me all about the Zoom meeting she's doing with her with her customers in Hawaii. So it was a cute little newsy note. So that was fun. Thank you, Gloria Payet. And she, in fact, both of my Hawaiian downline members found me through YouTube. So hello to all of my YouTubers out there, because I do post these Facebook Lives back on YouTube. Then I got a card from my customer, Elaine Wheeler. She's always sending me beautiful cards, and this time she was sending me a check for the kit that we're doing this month, which is the In the Pines bundle, and so she got the whole works, the whole shebang. So she sent her check to me in this pretty card and said the kits are almost making up for being with me in person. Yeah, in person's just not happening, right? So kits are kind of fun right now. So she sent a pretty card, and I love it because it's got a couple of little flower pots, and then the little flower pot that doesn't have a flower, and it says missing you underneath. So it's very, very sweet. So thank you so much, Elaine Wheeler. And then I have some swap cards to share with you that use the Quite Curvy bundle, which we're using today. So remember, my card is going to use the sentiment 1 in a million, or you're 1 in a million. So here's another card that uses that sentiment, and it also uses the classic Christmas 6x6 designer series paper. that Stampin' Up! Is promoting right now. So it's really pretty, and what I love about it is, of course, you know, here's the little curve. That's why it's called Quite Curvy. And then you've got your sentiment that follows along with the curve. And then there's other curvy stamps in there. They're photopolymer, so you can kind of curve them the way you want to, but they are made to work with the curves in the dies. So this was pretty fun. And my card uses the vines, the vines that curve along. So here's another idea for using vines kind of with some fall colors. Do you love it? I know, I want to case this one really bad. So cute. And then there's some plaid paper in the background there. We all have that. Of course, I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's a plaid paper available in our holiday, or in our August through December mini catalog. All right, and then here's a Valentine one. Isn't that great? So there's a sentiment in there that says made for love, just for you. And then you could do a heart punch out and then just a little swag through the heart punch out, which is really cute. Oh yes, thank you, Linda. It's Plaid Tidings. She's so good. She's in my downline too. Hi, Linda. All right. Okay, I got all of it covered. All the mailbox cards, all the swap cards. So welcome back to anyone that tuned out during that time. Let me have a little sip of my coffee again. And maybe I should have a little sip of my water. You can't tell I love my new mugs, can you? All right, let me flip the camera down here and we'll get started. This is the whole shebang, guys. This is everything for $70.50 in my online store if you want it all. Saving 10% on every single item. So here is the Curvy Christmas, which you've seen me use before. Here is the Quite Curvy bundle. So these dies will work with the Curvy Christmas stamp set. And then here's the stamp set we're using today. And then there's also a pack of coordinating classic Christmas 6x6 designer series paper that looks like this. It's just great. I love that all of the designs are repeated in those different Christmassy colors. And then of course there's even colors right through here. I mean, really, you wouldn't have to use these as Christmas colors, but if, you know, these two for sure are Christmas colors, but I've seen some amazing cards created with the Sahara sand that could be used for year-round giving. Just love it. Okay, so let me move that out of the way. And here's what we're doing. So I have the color combination here, and a bunch of you were telling me already how much you love the color combination. So let me go over that first. It's Pretty Peacock, which is one of the in colors that we have. I think it came out not this past, yeah, two of these are in colors. Pretty Peacock and Purple Posy, which came out over a year ago. And then we also are just using it against crumb cake background. So that's where we're starting from as far as our colors. Now let's go ahead, and I'm going to make two cards, and on the giveaway we're going to do the butterfly gems. So to get in on the giveaway, just make comments, let me know where you're watching from, share this on your timeline or with a Stampin' group that you're in. It's wonderful, and I really appreciate it. So here we go. We'll give away the butterfly gems on Thursday when I do the drawing from this Facebook Live. So let's see here. Where did my goodies go? Here they are. So we're going to start, and because I'm making two cards, I do everything a duplicate here. We're going to start with 4 1/4 by 11 inch crumb cake card base, scored at 5 1/2. So I've already folded it. I'm going to flip it over and just use my bone folder to make sure this line is nice and scored so it doesn't flop around while we're using it. And then we're going to set that aside for just a second here because we're going to use some ribbon on our inside panel. I haven't showed you the inside panel yet, but you know I love to decorate the inside. So we've got some Purple Posy on the inside, and we're just going to do a strip of ribbon down the left-hand side of our inside panel, which is kind of fun. So the inside panel looks like this. It's purple posy cardstock at 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm going to take a silicone mat. Stampin' Up! Sells these silicone craft sheets. And we're going to cut our ribbon so that we have little handles on the ribbon. So that means we're going to be able to handle it. Oh my goodness. Kind of getting crazy. So we're going to take our scissors and just cut it just a little bit longer, but we're only going to put adhesive through the center of it so that we can handle it while we're using it. Otherwise you end up with adhesive all over your fingers. And I will tell you, the new Stampin' Seal adhesive is so sticky that when you get it on your fingers, it's like a challenge to get it off. It really is. But that's good because that means your cards are going to hold together very well. So here's our Stampin' Seal, and what I'm going to do is just put one of these pieces of paper here as my guide, and I am going to put Stampin' Seal down the center of the ribbon. Oh, I used the wrong color. What the hoo-hey? Hold on. I have to see if I have a different color. Hold on. Lordy, I picked the wrong one. I must have had purple posy on the mind. So we will, as soon as I put it up next to that, I was like, oh, wait a minute, this doesn't look right. So here we go. We're gonna do a replay of this. So let me go ahead and try that all over again. So again, we're just gonna put seal adhesive down the center of our ribbon. And then you have a little bit longer ends so you can handle it, and then just set it right here. Oh my goodness, much better contrast, wouldn't you agree? We're gonna do the same thing for the other panel. And then put this over here and just slide this on. Just great contrast, really brightens up the inside. Then flip it over. Trim it even. And then we'll be ready to put this into our card base. So we will not put anything in here because if someone is 1 in a million, like the front says, you got to take a little time and tell them why. So we're not going to use any other sentiments on the inside. All right, so I am just going to use some multi-purpose liquid glue to set this down on the inside panel. Just a little strip here at the top because I don't like my inside panels to be so tight. I like them to be nice and loose and flowing, and to me that makes a more elegant card. Many of you know that, but I often get that question, so I just thought I'd answer it in advance. Here's the other one. We'll go ahead and set this in. And there we go. All right, so now let's go on, and we are going to use a piece of scrap paper. This isn't just any scrap paper though. This is shimmery white. So one thing you can't tell on the camera is that all of this is stamped in shimmery white here, the bird and the vine, and it's just so gorgeous. So here's my scrap of shimmery white, and we are only using 1 ink on this card, which is Pretty Peacock. We're going to ink up that vine with Pretty Peacock, and then just go ahead and stamp that on your scrap. And I hate it when I do this, but I forgot. Oh, it turned out okay, so I lucked out. But normally I like to have my Stampin' mat just to make sure, because there's no cushion on photopolymers, so I like to have that little bit of a cushion. But it turned out. I inked it up pretty heavily. And then here is our bird, so just stamp him. And then I'm going to show you how to color this. So let me put the ink away. And let me put these stamps away so I don't accidentally put something into them. All right, so to color it, we're going to use Stampin' Blends. Let me just share with you the colors we're using here. So we have dark purple posy, and we have light Pretty Peacock. Those are the two colors we're using to color the vine. And we're also going to be putting just a touch of that color on our bird. And then we also have the Crumb Cake 2-pack here. So all of our Stampin' Blends come in combo packs. So this is a full combo pack here in Crumb Cake. So the way I did this is I took my Purple Posy first, and I just kind of put some color in the center of these vine leaves, just like this. So I didn't spend a lot of time. I wasn't necessarily too fussy because there's quite a few and I have things to do. I can't spend a lot of time coloring. So I just plop some color into the center of the vine leaves. So it looks like this. Again, nothing special about this. Anybody can do it. Then I went back and I took my light Pretty Peacock, and all I did was I just traced around the outside of the leaves. Let me just do a few of them here so you can see how this looks. It is a little time consuming because I don't want to go outside the leaves too much. But then when you do that, you're left with something that looks like this. And if you want it to look a little more blended, what you can do is take your dark Purple Posy again, and then after you've done the second layer where you've done the Purple Posy first and then the Pretty Peacock, go back in with your Purple Posy and just put a touch of color just on the outside where the two colors meet. So then what happens is that becomes more blended, and that's what that looks like. So how to color this bird. So let me show you the bird up close, because that looks tricky, doesn't it? That looks kind of hard. So I'm going to go through step by step how to do the bird. It doesn't take very long. This time you want to use the fine tip end. So what you're going to do is take the fine tip end of Pretty Posy, and you're just going to put the tiniest little bit of color here at the top of the bird. And then I also put a little color along the wing line here where there is already a line. So that's the first two things to do when you're coloring the bird. Then I took my Purple Posy and I added a little Purple Posy right here behind the wing. Oh, and I forgot one thing. So you also want to add a little bit of take your fine end of the Pretty Peacock and put some color back here. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the dark Crumb Cake and you're going to add dark Crumb Cake to the top of the wing. And then, I'm doing this just so randomly, but take your Purple Posy, I forgot, you want a little Purple Posy down here at the bottom of the bird as well. So at this point it's kind of looking like this. Then take your light Crumb Cake and go in right over the top of that Purple Posy that you just put down and just bring a little light Crumb Cake up, but don't cover don't go all the way up into the face area of the bird. And then also put some Purple Posy or some light Crumb Cake back here along the wing section. And then your bird will look like this. And of course he's kind of wet right now, so he'll look even prettier as he dries. So let me set this aside because I knew how long this would take. If I were to do this on video for 2 cards, you guys would be spending half your day with me. So I did go ahead, excuse me, I did go ahead and I pre-colored the vines, and I also pre-colored my little birdies, and I cut them out right here with this particular die, and then of course the corresponding bird die. So these are all ready to go onto my card. So let's get back to assembling this card here. And let me show you the next step. So the next step is to grab some purple posy cardstock, and you're going to cut it at 3 by 5 1/8. Okay, and then you also want some pretty peacock cardstock that's cut at 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, because this is going to layer over the top of this. That's why they're all cut at 5 1/8. Another reason I cut it at 5 1/8 is I wanted a little bit more of the crumb cake to show through in my layer. And then what you do is you take this really pretty die that's part of your die set, this one here with the curves, and you're going to set it on here like so. It actually, so the part that cuts the paper edge off, I did it backwards the first time I tried to do it, is actually this smooth area. So that's how you would set it. So you'd set it right down to the bottom and then just cut it. And then when you do that, this is what it ends up looking like. So you end up with a cut. I'll hold it here so you can see that looks like that. And this is what gets glued on to, where'd it go? Hold on. That's what gets glued onto your pretty peacock panel. Okay. So again, the pretty peacock panel is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So this is going to go here. So how do you know where exactly to put this? What I do is I just kind of want to see where my vine is going to come across. So I don't want the pretty peacock I don't want the purple posy really going much above the vine. I want the vine to be the dividing line between my colors. So what I do is I just set this down so that I know that when I put the vine on, there's going to be plenty of peacock up here. So I need to have it about like this. So that's probably about a little more than 1/4 inch from the bottom. So that's what it's going to be my guide. So I'm going to flip it over and we're just going to glue this down. And again, I'm going to glue it so that that bottom edge is just a tad bit above. Now, some of you are probably already noticing something I did wrong. I should have probably done my stamping before I glued down. And were I a brand new stamper, I definitely would do my stamping before I glued this down. But since I have been stamping for so many years, and I hope I haven't jinxed myself, I'm pretty good at stamping without messing up. So I'm going to take my Pretty Peacock ink. We're inking up your 1 in a million. And then look at how good this just fits right in here. So then set it in. Don't take it up too quickly. Give it a little chance to let the ink soak in. And there it is. So pretty. However, let me just grab the other one and I'm going to stamp it right now, because it does make more sense to stamp in advance. Because once you have that glued down with multi-purpose liquid glue, you've just lost your layers if you have to take that up, because the multi-purpose liquid glue is a permanent glue. So again, ink it up, set it in right where that curve is, give it a chance for the ink to soak in, lift away, and beautiful. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and glue this panel down. Thank you guys for all of you who are sharing this. It's so nice to see that. I really appreciate it. All right, so here we go. About a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. Just get that all in place. Looks beautiful. Now what we want to do is we're going to put dimensionals onto our vines. So I'm going to flip that over and grab my dimensionals. And I'm putting 4 dimensionals on so that we have a good sturdy vine all the way across the top. There we go. And now it's time to put this on. So I just set it in. Like that. That looks good to me. And we'll do the same thing to this one. That looks great. And then we have to put our little birdie on. So I'm going to flip him over. And you know what? I think I will use mini dimensionals for him. So when I'm using dimensionals with my little birdie, I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool. And I will just grab a dimensional here. And then we'll just use the Take Your Pick tool again. I don't know if you do this, but sometimes my fingers are too big. And I'm just gonna set him just right here, kind of sitting on the edge of where that scallop begins. And it looks like he's singing. So we'll set this one in the same place, right there. So pretty. Now we'll just finish up the card, and then I'll add the pretty butterfly gems, which are going to be my giveaway. So to finish up the card, no problem, we'll just grab the multi-purpose liquid glue again and do a little rectangle all the way around. Set this in, just wiggle it into place. You've got that wiggle room with the glue, which is the biggest selling point of the glue, truly. Flip this over. We're going to do this one over here and add this in. Better make sure yep. I was like, oh no, did I make sure I put it on the right side? How many of you have ever done that? You put your inside in and then you put your outside on and you open it up and it's all goofed up. And I hadn't checked, so I got lucky. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take some gems. These are the butterfly gems that come in all of the in colors from 2019-2021. That's the in color grouping that they're from. I'm going to use the Take Your Pick tool, this time the putty end. And we're going to add some butterflies to this, and it just makes the card. I mean, okay, so look at the card now. Beautiful, but wait until we add the butterfly gems. So I'm going to put one there. And then we've got another one here. And one more up here. Look at how cute that is. Oh my goodness. So we're going to do it again. I'm going to add a butterfly gem here, right above the million, and then we'll add a couple more. So they're just fluttering away, enjoying the really pretty day. So for those of you that are wondering, this bundle is actually a sneak peek out of the new catalog that's coming up in January. But Stampin' Up! Is letting not only demonstrators order it early, but customers as well. So if you'd like more information on this, you can always visit my blog, and if you scroll down on the first post that you see there, there is a Curvy keepsake or Curvy celebrations graphic that you can click on, and it'll take you to my online store so you can see all of the products up close. You guys have a great day, and I will talk to you on Thursday when we do another Facebook Live. Bye, everybody.